What?
ऊपर से तेरे जैसे 2 कौड़ी के प्लेयरों की सुनो।
So we don't even have to stop the food.
Nobody cares about the
You probably noticed it too. Things are getting a bit too toxic with the Gen Zs and Millennials. Guess what? I'm one of them, and I'm worried about where all of this is heading.
Accusations!
I feel like if we don't do something, things are gonna get way worse. Hi, I'm VALF, a voice actor and editor from India. I'm really into spooky history. Did you miss me? I missed you. Growing up, we didn't have it easy like kids today. The internet was a huge deal back then. I remember saving up all my money to buy these tiny scratch cards that get you like 20 megabits of data that you could use to surf the web. It's basically nothing compared to what we have today. My parents were pretty strict. They still are. They kinda tried to control every aspect of my life. Everything I did. It was different back then in India. We didn't have the same freedom you guys get to enjoy in the States. You guys get to make your own choices, which is awesome. If you're mature enough, that is. You know who are raising the Gen Zs? Millennials. Look at all the creators on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. It's mostly millennials. Us. We're quick to blame them, but let's be honest, we haven't figured everything out ourselves. We're basically teaching them how to swear, whether we mean to or not. How? Well, when swearing gets you sponsorships and huge following on social media, what kind of message does that send? It's partly the reason why I have so much respect for comedians who are naturally funny. As in, they're funny without relying on swearing too much. I remember joining this Discord server of one of those roasting YouTubers. I just wanted to see what it was all about, so I hopped into the voice chat. And let me tell you, it was a verbal assault. They were diabolical. I learned some new Hindi words that I didn't know existed that day. And it got so toxic, especially when I told them that my Hindi isn't good. Sometimes I genuinely feel bad for those roasting channels. I don't even know how they deal with all this chaos that fans create. It must be tough. You know, kids these days learn to swear before they can even talk properly. It's crazy. Influencers made swearing cool, and everyone jumped on the bandwagon. Even I fell for it. Don't judge me, but I made a roasting video once. Thankfully, it's private now. I think I deleted it, actually. I was going through a phase, and I really regret making it. No one really knows who you are online, so there is no real consequence for what you say. That's the reason why so many people swear. There's no real ramification for swearing. Alright, I want you to take a step back and think about all the influencers you grew up watching. You're done? You'll notice that most of them became famous for doing pranks, roasting people, and just in general making shock value content. Because hey, hate sells. Because it's the only thing that gets people to talk. Whether we use fear, desire, hate. These are tools we use to get people to click on our videos, which I think is a little cheap. So roasting people became a huge thing, and now those YouTubers are struggling. Why? Because the kind of audience you attract by dissing other people is going to diss you back. Hate sells, and people love drama. They can't resist it. It's like we need to know the new gossip, even if it is mean. And instead of trying to stop the drama, we just pull out our phones and record it. It's honestly depressing. What's the root of all this anger and disrespect? Well, I think it's rejection. Gen Zs and Millennials are way too emotional and sensitive to rejections. They just can't deal with it. I get it, it hurts, but emotionally mature people know how to deal with it. Instead of seeing rejection as the end of the entire world, we should see it as a chance to grow. Your self-worth doesn't depend on everyone liking you. Some people will dislike you no matter what, and that's okay. You need to find your tribe. People who appreciate you for who you are. It's easy to rely on negative emotions, but it's not worth it in the long run. Try to let go of all those emotions instead of holding on to them. The more you accept them, the less power they have over you. The internet was supposed to connect us, but it ended up dividing us. more and more. We created these little groups and shut ourselves off from new experiences and new people. We became people pleasers or tried to bring others down to make ourselves feel better. We're afraid to speak our minds because we're worried about how others might react. The internet also makes us grow up too fast. Kids aren't kids anymore. Everyone wants to be an adult. And there are two sides to this. Side number one blames themselves for everything. They always think they're doing something wrong. And side number two refuses to take responsibility. They always think they're right and therefore they never make mistakes. Lately, I've been noticing a lot of big YouTubers changing their content style and leaning more towards the family-friendly label, which is a good thing. It's like they're trying to teach their audience to see the world differently, which is something that's absolutely quintessential. Words are powerful. They can hurt or heal. Even if you can't see the wounds you inflict with your words, they're still there. The person is hurting inside. We should use our words carefully. Make sure that we don't use them against people who don't deserve it. And there's a mosquito. How long will I last this time? I guess we'll find out, right, Durkee?
Well, my guess is 10 seconds.
Okay, so there is this forgotten old story about the magic of ancient language. People believed they could heal people, control the weather, and even boost harvest just by speaking the right words. But greed took over. People started using the power for evil, and things got a little out of hands. Apparently, God had to step in and take away that magical ability. It took a long time for people to adjust, but eventually they found a way to live without it. The folklore says that some of these ancient words still exist, hidden from most people. If you know them, you can use them with the right intention. They can still have a magical effect.
Sounds a bit like sorcery, doesn't it?
Reminds me of the story of Harut and Marut, the angels sent to teach humans magic in Babylon, modern-day Iraq. It was a test, you see, but people misused the power, causing chaos. I mean, I kinda saw that coming. So Allah, who you might know as God, ordered the magic to be taken away. You see, free will, magical powers, not a tasty recipe. This video though was cooked to perfection, and YouTube thinks you'll like it. Tell him, Dark.
Just do it or she won't shut up.
Did you click on it?